Jeffrey Reddick is best known as the writer and creator of the hugely successful and totally amazing Final Destination franchise. While horror fans also know his movies like Tamra and 2011's Day of the Dead, what you probably didn't know is that he actually started his career when he was only 14 years old. While most kids were busy playing Kiss Groupie with our Star Wars toys, or maybe that was just me, Jeffrey was already hard at work writing his very own prequel to A Nightmare on Elm Street, which he then mailed to the president of New Line Cinema, Bob Shaye. Through his unstoppable tenacity and incredible perseverance, he eventually got a job at New Line when he was only 19 and worked there for the next 11 years. Well, it's nothing short of remarkable that Jeffrey created a movie franchise so well known that its very title has become a commonly used phrase for our own mortality. Remember to blame him the next time you're on a plane that hits severe turbulence and you hear some asshole in the cabin loudly declare, "This is totally a Final Destination moment." Yeah, it's hilarious that we're about to soar into the ground in a giant burning tuna fish can of death. Let's hope Bloodworth sees you soon, you f***wit. I'm Adam Green, and tonight I cheat death when Jeffrey Reddick joins me for my scary sleepover. This is your first time here.
Absolutely.
So wait, I should show you around.
That would be the nice thing to do.
Yeah, I guess that would be the nice thing to do.
Yeah. Put my huge bag.
Yeah, you could put that here with all the nothing. This is all the leftover scary sleepover food that nobody wants, like anything healthy.
I'm gonna drink a second.
Like oh yeah, have that. Please do. Wait, are you hungry? Do you want something to eat?
I'm starving.
Oh, good, because there's absolutely nothing good to eat. Yeah, so only the best food here.
Yeah, thank God these aren't red vines.
Good, so you're a Twizzlers person now.
Yes, red vines suck.
Final Destination, you wrote that like as a spec.
Well, it started off as a TV spec to get an agent, so I wrote it as an X-Files episode.
And you were, because you worked at New Line.
I worked at New Line. I started at New Line when I was 19, interning, and actually worked there through 2001 when I sold the treatment for Final Destination 2. So yeah, I wrote the first one as a spec for it to get an agent. I never submitted it to the X-Files actually, because one of my friends, Mark Kaufman, who worked at New Line, was like, "That's a great idea for a feature."
How had nobody thought of that? Like everyone's always trying to come up with a good villain. How about death? Like,
well, that was the hardest sell actually. We kept going back to. I mean, that was a problem that New Line was having. They're like, "Well, you know, you can't fight death. That's stupid. Doesn't make any sense." And it wasn't until we said we were going to take it to Miramax that they bought it. They bought the treatment, and then I wrote the first draft of the script.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's all it takes.
First of all, this has nothing to do with anything, but since you're being a good host, I wanted to bring you a little foot massager that you can just put your feet on if your feet get like tired.
Wait, really?
Yeah, just push it there.
It works?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm gonna do this. Well, Armin likes it. Oh, wow.
There you go. See? Tiffany Shep is maybe the sexiest guest, but I'm the most considerate because I'm...
You don't like this, Armin? Look at this.
You tear it. You show it who's boss.
Get it. What is that? What is this?
Get it.
What are you scared of? Like, what scares Jeffrey Reddick? Like, in real life? Like, what's your fear?
It sounds weird. I get very afraid that ignorance and intolerance are going to kind of take over the world in a bad kind of way. I think we see it happening now, and
worse than ever.
Yeah, and that really frightens me because I kind of grew up and I love where I grew up in Eastern Kentucky, and I'm very proud of being a hillbilly from the hills of Eastern Kentucky. But it was very racist when I moved there, and it's just because people didn't know any better. They'd never seen somebody who wasn't white before, and that issue and homophobia and sexism and just people prejudice against people who are of a certain religion or people who aren't religious, and it just seems like we're such a divided world right now, and it just scares me that we're just going to destroy each other.
How can you look back at history and all the mistakes that have been made, and now we look back and say, well, we're ashamed of that. We're ashamed that we wouldn't let women vote at one point. We're ashamed of slavery. We're ashamed of whatever it might be.
Right.
But not see like that it's the same thing. Like that at a certain point, or at least God willing, and at a certain point, it's not going to be a thing anymore.
Right.
Gay marriage, straight marriage, it's just marriage. How can you be anti-love?
Yeah, well, it's funny. Like my kind of argument with that is just not to get, religious or anything, but, my argument with that when I talk to certain people is like, look, there's only like two religious reasons you can get divorced in the Bible. It's adultery, and if your spouse becomes, quits being a Christian. And anybody else who gets divorced and remarried is committing adultery. So when you start telling me that all these people who got remarried because they fell out of love or whatever can't teach in schools or can't counsel Boy Scouts or can't get married, then I'll believe that you're sticking true to your religious convictions or your moral convictions. But until then, you're just being a hypocrite. Nobody's ever been able to kind of answer that one for me. So anyway, hopefully someday we'll be in a world past all that. I have to say I've been pretty blessed since, being in the industry, like, getting the job at New Line at such a young age, having Bob Shea be the one who brought me in. Like I've been really blessed. I haven't really faced a lot of, prejudice to my face at all. There are certainly unethical people in the business I've had to deal with, as I'm sure you have as well.
Oh yeah, I mean that's
just, the minute you mention a movie, people will throw their mothers under a bus to get a movie made.
Or money. As soon as money comes up, it's like Lord of the Rings, and people they don't care what they have to do to try to get a little bit more.
Yeah, that's the kind of the dark side of the business, but the bright side is we're getting to make movies about killing people, which is fun.
Yeah.
And awesome.
Oh, I'm getting pretty
Mr.
tired.
Yeah, I'm getting a little sleepy here, sir. But it's been great. Thanks for having me over.
Yeah.
Take care. Why don't we have, it's Punamnato.
Punamnato. Okay. I'm writing that down.
Yeah, or Pinedo.
Or Pinedo.
If we could get Punta.